actually just got offered to be on the board of a foundation this weekend. Actually, two of them. So it was a program that I used to be in when I was a kid that helped keep us off the street, and where we used to go do our homework and everything. And I ended up meeting with the guy that put up the money for the program 20 years later, and it was a pretty good deal. He did a lot for us, and I didn't even know. And he was actually excited to see that a lot of the kids from the program he's meeting randomly, and we're all doing pretty good. And that's the type of stuff that we want to get into as well. Doing things for the community and government contracts and having your trust set up. You just want to have multiple streams of incomes or ways to make money and not find out about it and then try to run and set it up, but already be set up for it so you can put it into motion as soon as it happens.
That is one thing, because you start to see your opportunities open up once you're set up properly. There's things that you hear about, the reason why you can't get to them because you're not set up properly. As a matter of fact, what he was saying, going back to the government contract, because that's an important part of the trust setup too. When you set up your trust, you want to set up an LLC or several LLCs, but you want to be doing business with the government. That's where all the money is. That's going to stabilize your business through any recession or depressions because they have budgets. So a lot of people, I watched a lot of people survive the last recession by having government contracts. So everyone should look into a SAM.gov registration. And if you do have a business, connect that business up and find a way to get some contracts. That is very important.
Yep. And the reason why a lot of people don't know about it is it's a kind of a tight-lipped thing. People don't share information when they're getting it in because they figure that, if I tell you, then you'll tell somebody, and then all the money's going to be gone. They got more government contracts than you can shake a stick at. And I mean, trillions of dollars that they have to give away. But it's just sitting there because nobody knows how to sign up for it or how to bid on the contracts and stuff. And even though we can get you started and get you signed up, there's some, you got to keep being diligent about putting it in because you're going to get rejections a lot. But the moment that you do one, even a small one, you don't have to start out with $1 million contract. You can get a small contract for 10 or 15,000 to clean windows at the city or the state. That gets you in the system, and then they see, okay, you did one good contract. Now the next time you come back, you can get something else, and you get to know the people and everything. But we walk you through the beginning stages of that. But I would start doing my due diligence on that, start looking around at some of the different opportunities for that as well. If you don't have any ideas for a business, or you do have a business, it's still good to look at.
Because it doesn't matter what business that your business does to get a government contract. So they're not going
Yeah,
to worry about what you do exactly. You can still get a government contract to do anything.
yeah, yep. It doesn't matter if you sell real estate. You can get a government contract putting in light bulbs at the state.
Good. And I'll put a gem out there as far as government contracts, because one of the biggest hurdles that you're going to find with government contracts is, one, there's a vast amount. So you're not going to know it's going to be so much information. I suggest giving the procurement officer a call, because it's really, we're in a people business. So you want to make contact with the people that you're trying to procure the contract with, so you can find out if there's any small errors that most people make on their contract, and it gives you a chance to talk and see where you're coming from as far as between you and the procurement officer. A lot of times there's a lot of people that are making contact and that's how they're getting the contracts.
Yep. And then sometimes when you call in there, um, all of the opportunities aren't listed. They have some that might not ever make it to the board for you to see that they're there. But if you keep calling in, then they're going to remember you. Plus, it forces them to bring your application up. So now they're actually looking at it, and every time you call in or you talk to these people without being a bugaboo about it, they're going to keep remembering your application and pulling up your information, and they'll keep you in mind and give you an opportunity. For them, they don't care. They're just at work, so it doesn't make a difference to them who gets the contract. So that's something to think about. But that is a very important thing of how people stay on. Like even the trucking business, I'm seeing a bunch of trucking businesses go under right now, and the government has all kind of opportunities in trucking for hauling all of this stuff. A lot of the people that are hauling these tanks and tents and backpacks and weapons around, they're civilian contractors. If you ever hear that word, that means somebody got a government contract, and that goes for overseas too. They got government contracts to drive trucks overseas. Now, I wouldn't want to be driving a truck in a war zone, but for some people, they'll look at the dollar amount and say, "I'm gonna take a chance on this right quick."
Right.
But does anybody got any questions about what we covered so far? Don't be shy if you don't understand or you want to know, or say it why we got them on here. And I'm gonna try and bring them back so we can talk about it, because I think that the more you guys hear it and think about it, you guys will start putting two and two together.
Right. And if the more questions, the better, because then I know how to direct my beam here.
I don't see any in here just yet, which is
Yeah, but
good. But if you
yeah.
do have something though, to make sure you raise your hand. We'll get you on and let you talk. Go
Or
ahead, Al.
if you have any experience with the trust that you're already running, we like to hear what your experience is, because no one knows everything about everything.
There's always room for learning and improvement. Like I'll give you one because I think I forgot who asked me. Someone was asking about rolling over your out of your 401k, and we do offer that. But if you want to talk about that, Al, the double taxation with the 401k that's coming up for all the retirees.
Yeah, yeah, and they lowered it to 25% both times, but it's still going to have the same effect. Yeah, if you're getting close to retirement, you might want to look at rolling over that 401k into an IRA or or some type of annuity so you can save yourself, because they will be taxing that thing. There's a lot of people losing right now because they are coming out retiring in that 401k and finding out that their $1 million has just turned into 250,000, which that makes a big difference. So yeah, if you need to want some more information about that, contact Tobias, and we'll sit down and talk to you and get a plan together how to navigate your way out of that, because that is going to be a big thing, especially with the baby boomers retiring. And that's also, like you said, about the market. One thing that they're not talking about, why the market has to come down, is because you have all these baby boomers emptying out of the market right now. They're at that retirement age. They're taking their 401ks and counsel them. So we got a double pronged thing happening here. It's not only the natural economy cycle, but I think the baby boomers are 55 million people are leaving the economy. So that is one big thing that we have going on out here. So we have to, if you are in that position, or if you know anyone in that position who's about to retire, especially from the state or federal government, I've noticed that a lot of those workers don't realize what's happening. Have them get Tobias a call, because we can help them save a lot of money in their retirement. Tobias.
Sorry about that. I was muted out. Yeah, I'm working on that, and then I'm also working on getting you guys access to some insurance people because they got certain insurance policies that benefit you as well. Um, so, for instance, another example of a tax shelter. So, say you go buy a property and you got $50,000 worth of profit. Well, you can go stick that 50,000 into an insurance policy, right? Then you can have access to that money and take a loan out on it when you need it. You don't have to get taxed on it right away. And then loan money is not taxable. And then you're paying it back monthly, but you're paying it to yourself. So when you're done with that opportunity, you put the money back and then you can use it again. And then if something happens, like unfortunately you pass away or something, whatever the balance is in there will go to your kids or whoever the beneficiary of the policy is. And I kind of like that strategy. I like that strategy a lot. I think that that's something that I wish I would have known a little earlier in life. That insurance period, if you hear the thing, is important. You hear it with your trust, you hear it with the life insurance. Like that's something that we should all have, especially if you're halfway through your working career, you're somewhere around getting ready to retire, etc. That's what you want to do, period. Want to get something set up and start planning this stuff. Like you should be sitting down every year. Like we're going into 2023, right? We're coming into the, what is this? Going into the third end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter. You should be sitting down with your tax guy. You sh- you should be sitting down with your CPA, whoever you may be doing your business with, and getting your plan together and seeing what write-offs and stuff are available. So when you go do your taxes, you're getting the maximum amount of write-offs that you can. Same thing with going into the year 2023. In the first quarter, you should have your whole plan together for what you're going to do for the whole year. You're planning on buying a business, you're planning on starting a business, you know, all of that stuff matters.